Open grants. Grants with no end date. $2,500 to $7,500 in grants. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Rinde from AskRinde, and welcome to the #1 community for real estate, income, grants, and credit. So if you'd like to know more about open grants, grants that have no defined end date, make sure you watch the video to the end and leave a comment below if you need help with anything. Open grants are some of the best grants you can receive and one of the keys to getting grants ongoing. There are two things that make a grant an open grant. Number one is open and rolling with no end date, and number two is open until the funds run out. So there are open grants around the country in every state, and there are three keys to keep in mind when you're applying for open grants. Number one, you need to apply right away, specifically when you're dealing with open grants that are open until the funds run out. Number two, lost opportunity. You want to make sure that you're not losing the opportunity to apply for grants and free money that you do not have to pay back. And number three, and most importantly, you want to use this opportunity to connect with a grant source, because oftentimes open grants are doors to grant sources. These are sources that administer grants and give grants ongoing. So these are grant plugs and great sources to stay connected to. So here are three examples of open grants around the country. Number one, Greenville County, Virginia, $7,500 in grants. So Greenville County recently awarded $50,000 in grants for small businesses. Now these are ARPA funds meant to help these small businesses recover expenses as a result of the pandemic. So these funds cannot be used for payroll or unrealized revenue as a result of the pandemic. These funds must be used for expenses that are related to helping them get back on their feet. So to be eligible for this grant, businesses must be located in Greenville County, Virginia. Number two, your business must have been established before January 1st of 2022. Number three, you must have 25 or less employees. And number four, you must be able to demonstrate the need for the funds in order to be able to keep your operations going. Now there's a two-tier system here with this grant based on employees. Between 1 and 5 employees, you're eligible for $5,000. Between 6 and 25 employees, you're eligible for $7,500. Now these funds are actually going to be available until the funds run out. This is why it's an open grant. So the application is currently open, and you can apply for this grant by going directly to their website at greenvillecountyva.gov. Number two, Etsy Emergency Relief Fund, $2,500 in grants. So Etsy, the online powerhouse, and Surf, a nonprofit, have partnered up to be able to administer this $2,500 grant specifically for Etsy sellers. So this grant is specifically meant to help Etsy sellers who've actually had experienced disaster. This is a disaster emergency relief grant specifically for people who are actually selling on Etsy. And the grant is geared to entrepreneurs to be able to help them recover when disaster disrupts their businesses. So to be eligible, there's two simple criteria. Number one, you must be an Etsy seller in good standing. And number two, you must be an Etsy seller who's actually had a federal declared disaster in the last 1 year, and you may apply for the grant. So to apply for this grant and get more information on this emergency relief grant, you can go directly to their website at advocacy.etsy.com. You can also go to surfplus.org. Number three, UPS Proudly Unstoppable Grant, $5,000 in grants. So UPS has teamed up with ACE, the Asian American and Pacific Islander Chamber of Commerce and Entrepreneurship, to be able to administer these grants. Now, in honor of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, they're administering over $150,000 in grants to businesses that are looking to recover from the pandemic. Asian American and Pacific Islander small businesses have been greatly affected by the pandemic. So this is the second year of the Proudly Unstoppable initiative. Last year, they gave out 27 grants of $5,000 each in 2021. So they're looking forward to expanding and giving more grant opportunities to these small businesses, and they've allocated over $1 million so far to small businesses. So this is a great source to be tapped into. So to be eligible for these grants, the business must be 51% Asian American Pacific Islander owned. They also must be a for-profit business. They also must have 3 or less locations, and they also must be affected by the pandemic. Now the great thing that UPS is doing along with ACE is not only giving the grants, but they're also highlighting Asian American entrepreneurs, such as Mojo Wang, who designed a limited edition UPS box. So the great thing about the Proudly Unstoppable initiative is that it's a grant source. It's an open grant source. You want to make sure that you're tapped into them because they not only serve the Asian American community, but they serve many other communities. As I said, they've given out over $1 million in grants to the Black community, the Latin communities, and many other communities where small businesses are looking to try to thrive and get access to capital. So this is actually a great source to tap into for this round of grants. They're currently closed, but as I shared, this is a grant source, particularly since they actually have open grants and the program is ongoing. So to get more information and to apply and get connected to them, you can go directly to their website at aapistrong.com. So if you'd like to find more open grants with no end date, where you can apply for grants consistently and get access to grant sources, make sure you check out our resource area at my website, AskRinde.com. Also, I'd like to send you our free 5-step grant guide where you can actually start the process of applying for grants for your business, for your personal, and also for your financial. So make sure you get on my mailing list so I can actually send you our free 5-step grant guide. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. You can also email me. My email address is AskRindeNetwork@gmail.com. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Until next time, thank you so much for watching.